Hey everyone, welcome back to the Budget Sportsman. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is the second Saturday of the Pennsylvania archery season. We're about a week in now. And tonight I'm going back to my roots, so to speak. So this past week I've been hitting the public land pretty hard in the saddle, the mobile setup. I've been really enjoying it, but I've had a couple of really uneventful sits. Last night I did have a really eventful sit. I think I saw 6 does and 2 small bucks and came really close to getting a shot off at one of the does. It just was a game of inches. Really, she needed to take one more step, and I just didn't get that extra step. So that was eventful, a really fun hunt on public land. And then this morning I was out with Nate from Average Jack Archery, doing a 2-man setup. We didn't see anything, but had a good time hanging in the tree. It's always fun to have some company in the tree. So anyways, I decided that it's Saturday night, probably the time that public land gets the most pressure. And I decided to come back to my old home place. Not really the place that I live or grew up, but it's a piece of private land I've been hunting for about 10 years now. And I'm actually hunting a field edge. And I know some of you are saying, get back in the woods, you know, get away from that field edge. But really tonight what I was looking for is just an enjoyable, relaxing evening. The weather's beautiful, it's very warm, but I just wanted to get out here, and I'm sitting right at a field edge where I can see quite a distance. And actually about 40 yards further up the edge of the field and then 40 yards in is a place that I've actually spent a lot of time hunting in the past. And I've harvested several deer from there, including a buck. But the last couple years it seems to have slowed down in that spot. I think I hunted it a lot of years and they kind of patterned me. But I noticed a lot of deer coming out into the field a little bit lower down this field edge. And so tonight with the saddle setup, I decided to move down here, and we'll see what happens. I really don't expect to see any bucks. I do expect to see some does. Not sure if they're going to be right in range. But either way, I think it's going to be a gorgeous evening, some beautiful fall colors, sitting out here just on a beautiful, beautiful evening, got a beautiful vantage point. So stick with me, let's see what happens. Well, that was fun. I just had about 6 deer come out, a couple of young ones, but a couple of nice big does. And unfortunately they came out up the field edge here, closer to where I told you I used to hunt, rather than coming out down here. And they were about 37 yards as close as they ever got. When I went to start filming them, my camera was already been recording 18 minutes of, I have no idea what, 18 minutes of the ground or something. And it said my camera battery was dead, so I filmed them off and on a little bit. And then eventually they caught my wind. They didn't see me, they weren't looking up here, but they were looking this direction. I know they were smelling me. The lead doe started stomping, and then they all took off. So that's a bummer, but it gave me a chance to change my camera battery. And I'm hoping when the wind dies down a little bit tonight, maybe they'll come on back out. We still got like an hour, hour and a half of daylight left. Well, guys, you win some and you lose some. I think I'm losing tonight, right after I gave you the last update. There were some deer down here. I thought it was more deer coming. Turns out it was the same group, and they were coming to try to figure out what it was they smelled. And that lead doe stood and stomped and stomped and stomped, and I was ready. She started coming out into this field, and all she had to do was go straight out, and I'd have an easy chipper 15-yard shot. Instead, she turned and actually came too close below me here, and she got actually where I couldn't shoot because I've got some brush right underneath me. She went out into the field, looked around, and she turned and came back. I was at full draw, and all she needed to do was take one more step to be in the open, and it would have been probably a 15-yard shot. Instead, she looped up and went back around this way again, and I'll show you I've got some branches here that I'm not totally exposed to the field straight this way. And she was probably within 20-25 yards. I couldn't shoot, and then by the time she got up here where I could see her, she was just out of what I felt comfortable shooting, especially when she was on that high of alert. So she's still up in here blowing and carrying on. I don't know if they'll come back anymore after they blew off twice. Who knows? Well, that's going to do it for this hunt. I sure hope you enjoyed it. We're getting into a lot of deer now in these last few hunts, and hopefully in the next few hunts we'll be able to get a deer on the ground. Until then, hope you remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors into God's great creation.